Welcome. Today we will be reading lesson 353 in the workbook, and from the text, chapter 31, section 1, The Simplicity of Salvation, paragraphs 8 through 13. And now for lesson 353. My eyes, my tongue, my hands, my feet today have but one purpose: to be given Christ, to use to bless the world with miracles. Father, I give all that is mine today to Christ, to use in any way that best will serve the purpose that I share with Him. Nothing is mine alone, for He and I have joined in purpose. Thus has learning come almost to its appointed end. A while I work with Him to serve His purpose. Then I lose myself in my identity and recognize that Christ is but myself. May this body be used in service to one's true self, for the purpose of healing and forgiveness. For one has joined in same purpose with the unified self in order to liberate the world from its bondage, to reveal its innocence and wholeness. For what one has, one shares with all others. For nothing is for oneself alone. In this shared self, there is only gain without loss. Why serve only illusions when this shared self is the only self? And in service to one's true self, does one gratefully disappear into its all-inclusive calling, understanding that it is this shared identity that is but oneself. For one is only here and now, to be truly helpful today. And now for our text reading for today, from chapter 31, section 1, The Simplicity of Salvation, paragraphs 8 through 13. The outcome of the lesson that God's Son is guiltless is a world in which there is no fear, and everything is lit with hope and sparkles with a gentle friendliness. Nothing but calls to you in soft appeal to be your friend, and let it join with you. And never does a call remain unheard, misunderstood, nor left unanswered in the self-same tongue in which the call was made. And you will understand it was this call that everyone and everything within the world has always made, but you had not perceived it as it was. And now you see you were mistaken. You had been deceived by forms the call was hidden in. And so you did not hear it, and had lost a friend who always wanted to be part of you. The soft eternal calling of each part of God's creation to the whole is heard throughout the world, this second lesson brings. There is no living thing that does not share the universal will that it be whole, and that you do not leave its call unheard. Without your answer is it left to die, as it is saved from death, when you heard its calling as the ancient call to life, and understood that it is but your own. The Christ in you remembers God with all the certainty with which he knows his love. But only if his Son is innocent can he be love. For God were fear indeed if he whom he created innocent could be a slave to guilt. God's perfect Son remembers his creation, but in guilt he has forgotten what he really is. The fear of God results as surely from the lesson that his Son is guilty, as God's love must be remembered when he learns his innocence. For hate must father fear, and look upon its father as itself. How wrong are you who fail to hear the call that echoes past each seeming call to death, that sings behind each murderous attack and pleads that love restore the dying world. You do not understand who calls to you beyond each form of hate, each call to war. Yet you who recognize him as you give him answer in the language that he calls, he will appear when you have answered him, and you will know in him that God is love. What is temptation but a wish to make the wrong decision on what you would learn, and have an outcome that you do not want? It is the recognition that it is a state of mind unwanted that becomes the means whereby the choice is reassessed. Another outcome seen to be preferred. You are deceived if you believe you want disaster and disunity and pain. Hear not the call for this within yourself, but listen rather to the deeper call beyond it that appeals for peace and joy. And all the world will give you joy and peace. For as you hear, you answer. And behold, your answer is the proof of what you learned. Its outcome is the world you look upon. Let us be still an instant and forget all things we ever learned, all thoughts we had, and every preconception that we hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Let us remember not our own ideas of what the world is for. We do not know. Let every image held of everyone be loosened from our minds and swept away. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that ever crossed your mind of anyone. Now do you know him not? But you are free to learn of him and learn of him anew. Now is he born again to you, and you are born again to him, without the past that sentenced him to die, and you with him. Now is he free to live as you are free, because an ancient learning passed away and left a place for truth to be reborn. This section points out that deep within oneself is the understanding that one wants only to love and to join with everyone and everything, and that everyone else has this same call to love for oneself and others. It has always been this way, one just never realized it. The recognition of this loving attraction that each part of creation has for each other results from learning the inherent innocence of everyone. This loving attraction is the universal will of all beings to be whole and complete. Yet guilt has hidden this call to join with everyone into the shared oneself, the Christ. Yet in stillness and release of all that the world has taught oneself, letting go of all thoughts and judgments of past and future. In this great unknowing, can the space make room for truth to be revealed of what one really is, the blessed one, the one self, reborn at last once again.